One thing at a time, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to meet two people.
You're on the stage.
Pardon?
You're on the stage.
You're on now.
I'm present. Well, I thought this was an interesting talk because I don't like the way too much freedom. What don't you? Yes. Yes, too much freedom. Because we all have fears, and I don't examine them enough. I don't look at them. I love what Krishnamurti said that you read, Rachel. It's very powerful about not even desiring to get rid of our fears. They're real, and they're part of us. But we can manage them, and we have to manage them with love for ourselves and others, and we have to manage them with kindness and compassion. Because we are part of a community of human beings, spiritual beings having a human experience. We call ourselves human beings, but we are spiritual beings. And our job is to explore, to have fun, to laugh and to cry, and to be all we can be. And we can only do that if we are not running from our fears, and if we are being without judgments of any kind, especially about our fears, and without desires to get rid of our fears. So I was thinking about, when I wake up in the morning, am I welcoming the day in the sense of what am I going to suffer today? Or am I welcoming the day, what am I going to explore today? How can I be larger? How can I be more than I think I am today? How can I be friends with myself today? How can I love myself today? How can I explore today? So what do we fear? What kinds of things do we fear? I want to explore my fears today. We fear pain. I fear pain. We fear doubt. Doubt is another word for fear. Boredom is another word for fear. We are choosing not to be present with any of our feelings. Denial is another word for fear. And how easy it is to deny our fears, our difficulties, our suffering, our feelings. How easy it is to deny our feelings. So we must never doubt that the little things, the daily little things are in fact the big things. They're the big things. They hold us back more than anything else, these little doubts, these little fears that we encounter each day, that we live through each day. We fear people too. We fear other people. We fear the unknown. We resist change. And we do many things to avoid experiencing our fears. We eat too much. We drink too much. We work too much. And we even exercise too much, although I'm not guilty. So Hugh Prather, one of the original teachers of A Course in Miracles, led a spiritual center in Santa Fe, New Mexico, where I used to live, called the Dispensable Church. Larry and I attended, and he would occasionally remind us, you are about as far away from God as the amount of stuff you hang on to. And letting go of our stuff is absolutely, I see people smiling. That means you can identify with this. Letting go of our stuff is one of our greatest fears. After all, I might need this sometime. I might need it. And there is a security in having things. But it's, of course, it's not real security. But letting go of these things can unleash a whole host of fears. It's about family. For me, it's about my background with my destructive background with my family. That is what it is for me. So, Steve Jobs reminds us, remembering you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. It's amazing. It's amazing. It is a trap. It is a trap to think that you have anything to hang on to. But we allow ourselves by conditioning and just by not paying attention, not paying attention. We are afraid of the unknown. We have habits and routines that are hard to change. Somebody said to me a few minutes ago, I'm thinking of moving to Florida. I said, no, you can't. Is that about my fear? Of course it's about my fear. What would we do without you? Of course that's about my fear. And noticing our fears, I think, is the key. So we are afraid of our own enlightenment. There's a couple of fears that are extremely interesting to me. We are afraid of our own enlightenment. When we get close to that source energy, when we get close to God, it feels as if we're on the edge of a great abyss. And of course we are. We're on the edge of a great abyss. And a few times in my life I have come myself to the edge of that abyss and seen, just had a sense of absolutely nothingness. And I resisted. I pulled back. But the enormousness of the feeling is very, very powerful. And we want to be enlightened. We want to come close to that. We want to experience that, but we're afraid. At that edge, when we have the opportunity, we pull back and we're afraid. And so I forgive myself. I forgive myself for pulling back. So the French poet Guillaume Apollinaire wrote, "Come to the edge." We can't. We are afraid. Come to the edge. We can't. We will fall. Come to the edge. And they came, and he pushed them, and they flew. So that's what happens. That's what happens. Our deepest, from Marianne Williamson, I have a quote. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? All those things. You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in all of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Being present will take your fear away. Being present with what you are feeling. So there's a little story, another quotation in a little story I want to share. From Eleanor Roosevelt, you gain strength and confidence by every experience in which you would really stop to look fear in the face. You must do the thing you think you cannot do. I don't remember reading this quotation back in 1988 when I joined Toastmasters to help me deal with my fear of public speaking. And I don't know why I thought I ever needed to be a public speaker. However, I realized that that was really my greatest fear. And for a lot of us, that's really true. And I have to tell you, I'm still working on it. 30 years, whatever, almost 30 years later, I'm still working on it. It's still my greatest fear. I notice it, though. There's a lot of the little fears that I don't notice. But I will tell you, if you have the courage to get up here and speak, it will free you. And for myself, it's my ultimate experience of freedom. So, again, to remind you, we are not our fears. We are spiritual beings. We need to take opportunities as much as possible to experience ourselves as spiritual beings. We need to see with the eyes of God, to look out on what's happening in the world with the eyes of God, and what kind of change would come to the world if we would learn how to do that. I look across the dinner table with eyes of criticism. Ah! You know, why do I do that? I've been practicing spirituality since 1980. I've been introduced to A Course in Miracles and spirituality. So how is it possible? It is. We resist change. We resist becoming that which we desire to become. We are not our fears. We have fears. So let's choose to see everything with new eyes. Not to judge anything. Although most of what the world will teach is about being discerning, having judgments, deciding what's right, deciding what's wrong. What is right? What is wrong? Nothing. Nothing is wrong. Nothing is right. It's all the same. It's all the same. I ran out of my paper. I ran out of writing. So, I think it's your turn now. I'd love to hear from